Hello. Well, I was attracted by something special on Quora. Well, special for me at least, because it had some discussion around it. And yes, the fact was to find solutions for the equation x raised to the power x equals x. Okay? And then, yes, the main author of that topic was Rick McGeer, and yes, beginning of the 2020, he said, okay, let's take the natural log of that equation. And that seems, of course, rather natural to consider, because taking a log is simplifying such a construction. And he came to the conclusion that if I point out here, log x times x minus 1 equals 0. That is the solution, or that gives you easy solutions to know which x will correspond to that. So log x equals 0 will lead x equals 1, and x minus 1 equals 0 will give you x is 1 as well. Okay, so there is only one solution at that problem. However, then on a day later, the 7th of January of 20, there was a Belgian Michiel Bogaert from Ghent. I have been in Ghent as well as a student. And he said, okay, but you missed something, because x equals minus 1 is also a solution for that equation. And if you work it out, yes, if you raise to the power minus 1, it's division of 1 over x, you could say. So 1 over x equals x, and yes, x is minus 1. That will correspond as well. And then, yes, Rick McGeer thanked Michiel Bogaert, and somewhat later, in December, the 5th of December of 20, there was Stefan Silipsky. And he said, okay, but for x negative, if you consider x negative, you should consider complex analysis. But he didn't work that out. Maybe he had, yes, some background for saying that. And then it triggered me myself, because I have been doing, yes, some engineering studies, civil engineering, in the 80s, close to the 80s, and said, okay, I will try to see what I can find out myself. Okay, so, and I think I have something interesting. I don't think so. I think it is what I had to do. I said, okay, so z raised to the power z equals z. Consider that equation, with z is a general complex number. Okay, so you can take the log of a complex number as well, natural log. You will have z minus 1 times log z equals 0 again. Okay, and that gives you z equals 1. Okay, that is nothing new. And log z equals 0, that's another solution. And how do you take the natural log of a z, of a general complex number? You have to consider that a z can be written as r times e raised to the power I theta. That's with r as the modulus of the general number, and theta is the argument of that numbers. That's the yes. I consider that you have some knowledge of complex numbers and this representation of a complex number. Otherwise, I would have to represent it with more background, but that can't be the issue for this workout. I have to keep it a bit short for those who will understand me. And then taking the log of that form is leading to log r plus I theta, because the e raised to the I theta. When you take the log of that, it's just the exponent you take. And then I said, okay, but you only need to consider the real part of the solution, because we are not considering the imaginary part of the solution. And that's the interesting point. When you go to the set, when you go to complex numbers, you can come to solutions for stuff that have complex, imaginary parts, pure imaginary parts, but you don't have to consider those when you are considering the final thing you want to get from what you found. And said, okay, the log r equals 0. And the I theta, well, okay, you don't have to consider I theta because that's a pure imaginary part. So if the log of r equals 1, equals 0, then r has to be 1. And that means that the z value will be on the unit circle. All the z values that are on the unit circle will have the log r will have 0 as the real part of the solution. Okay, and there are only two z values on the unit circle that are real values, and that is +1 and -1. So you find out here that you can consider -1 as a possible solution. And that was what I wanted to point out here. And when you work out -1 in the original form that you have here, then you come to the conclusion that, okay, you can accept -1 as a solution then. Okay, I think that is very interesting, because it's something that gives value to complex analysis. Hope you liked it.